You see our in-car camera showing us a shot of the start line marshal from Vic Moyce's Fiesta, and as he trots away off to the side, so the revs build up, the tension mounts inside the cars, and a good clean start then for our first final, all breaking cleanly away down towards the top of the paddock, and from the inside of our car we can see it's Dave Ward, the early leader. Bob Smith trying to come through on the inside as they head towards paddock turn for the first time, and in fact it is Bob Smith from Dave Ward. Vic Moyce with fists full of opposite lock there as he controls the Fiesta going down, tumble downhill, but it's Bob Smith coming through at the bottom here, out of the S's, up Barry Crump already up into a good third place. Barry Crump moving up very fast there as they come up Harewood Hill, but it's Bob Smith from Dave Ward. Dave Ward trying to come through on the inside, Ivan Gill in third, then comes Barry Crump. Then our camera car of Vic Moyce, but as they come down into Langley's Gap, it's still Bob Smith, 177 Bob Smith. There you can see our camera car going through Langley's Gap and along the knife edge as Dave Ward comes up to challenge for the lead. Dave Ward on the inside trying to take Bob Smith as they go along towards Hoppy Strop on this very tortuous section of the circuit. Barry Crump going through there as Ivan Gill going off. Ivan Gill in 176 going off as Dave Ward takes the lead then from a very sideways Bob Smith. Barry Crump now into third. Then comes Vic Moyce, then the Fiat Strada, Mick Marchant, then new boy from Southampton there, Mike Thompson. As the rest of the field come through, we look down to the chicane where we can see it's the Metro of Dave Ward leading the escort of Bob Smith with the Fiesta of Barry Crump in third place. So three different makes of car in those first three places, and another shot of the camera car, obviously not using the washers there, just relying on the wipers to clear it as 7:30 Dave Ward finds his lead. He's under tremendous pressure once again from 177 Bob Smith, but Smith goes a little bit wide through the S's, and 7:30 Dave Ward then accelerates up the hill as Smith finds it difficult to get traction and to keep that escort pointing in the right direction, but he manages to hang on to second place from a hard-pressing Barry Crump. Barry still there in third place with the twin cam Fiesta, car number 50, and again Smith getting very sideways out of Druids, and the battle for the lead very, very intense now as they come through Langley's Gap. Still Dave Ward holding off Bob Smith. Barry Crump there with Vic Moyce, I think, coming up in close contention in fourth place, and 302 Frank Hartley, the former hot rodder, spinning off as along the knife edge goes Barry Crump, but the leader over the hill there now, not over the hill in any sense really, but coming down onto the tarmac. It's still 7:30 Bob Smith, Barry Crump, then Vic Moyce, then Norman Ford with the Fiat Strada in fifth position. They're beginning to spread themselves out a little bit now as they come down the Cooper Straight into the chicane. It's a challenge coming once again from the lead as Bob Smith gets very, very close there indeed to Dave Ward. They're all beginning to bunch up behind. Mick Marchant well placed there. Then comes new boy Mike Thompson with his new Metro, but again a shot from our camera car, providing that vision is very, very difficult to find here as the spray from the cars thrown up onto your windscreens as Barry Crump now challenging for second place. Barry getting alongside Bob Smith there, but then understeering a bit wide through the S's as number 730 Dave Ward still heads them up Harewood Hill towards Druids. Bob Smith still holding off Barry Crump for second, but Barry coming through on the inside as the Fiat Strada of Norman Ford spins there on the exit of the S's. I think Barry Crump is through into second. It's almost three abreast. It's almost three abreast. Dave Ward still holds the lead as Smith goes down now into third place. Barry Crump brings the Fiesta through into second. Still Vic Moyce in fourth place as they come away along the knife edge. Barry Crump now making his move. Barry Crump making his move with the twin cam. Can't find a way past Dave Ward at the moment. As Mick Marchant there in fourth place, I can see, with the second of the Ford Escorts, and a very, very close race. The pack headed over Hoppy Strop, still by Dave Ward. Bob Smith hasn't given up hope yet. Notice how the rear-wheel drive cars oversteer compared to the understeering and front-wheel drive machines, and Crump now into the lead. Barry Crump into the lead as they go down into the chicane for the last time. It's Barry Crump and Dave Ward coming back alongside, and Thompson getting a bit sideways there. And can Barry Crump do it? Barry Crump with the inside line as they go on to the paddock turn and down, tumble down. Barry Crump from Bury St Edmunds leading the great Dunmow driver. Bob Smith from Kent there, still a very close third place as these three cars come down. Mick Marchant coming in to join them now in fourth place as Barry Crump. They go past Norman Ford's abandoned Fiat Strada up the hill, and it's still Barry Crump. Barry beginning to extend that lead a little bit now as they come into Druids for the last time, and this man, who has been one of the men to beat in British Rallycross, he looks like taking victory as he comes down through Langley's Gap and away along the knife edge towards the finish line in his 50s. Barry Crump taking victory there to lead home the challengers in this first final for the Formula D cars. Bob Smith well placed there with his escort, the rest of the field coming through, and an excellent start to the series. A very close race, but a good victory there for number 50, Barry Crump from Bury St Edmunds with the twin-cam Ford Fiesta.
So, victory for Barry Crump, who goes through as our first round winner in this brand new supercar series. And he, of course, goes through automatically now to our grand final in 5 weeks' time. But let's now take a complete rundown of the men who qualified for that final. In first place, as we've seen, was Barry Crump from Bury St Edmunds. Second, Bob Smith. Third, Mike Marchant. Fourth, Vic Moyse. Fifth, Mike Thompson. And in sixth place, Dave Ward. So now the presentation will be made to our winner, Barry. Gareth coming in with the winner's garland, the champagne and the trophy. Well done to him. He says, I think we better stand clear here because we could be in trouble. Well, in fact, the cork is being eased off. Let me have a quick word with our winner. Barry, it's been quite a day for you.
Yes, we made a mistake on the first heat and we dropped from first to fourth, but that's the way it goes. Then obviously that gave me a bad position for the final. So I had to start from the third row and sort of fight my way through.
But the final looked adventurous for you, though.
To be honest, I have never worked so hard in all my life. I'm still shaking.
Fancy your chances in the big one at the end of the series?
Yes, I think so.
OK, Barry, thanks for joining us. Well done to you once again.
Thank you very much.
And, of course, we'll be seeing Barry in that final in 5 weeks' time. Just watch out as the champagne sprays all over the place. It's certainly been spectacular action here today. Like I say, the grand final coming up in a few weeks. We hope you'll be rejoining us here at Brands at the same time next week. 3 more races, 20 more cars and drivers, all trying to be our supercar champion. Join us then.